Is IT upstairs? You ready? Okay. Good evening, everybody. This is the action meeting, the first action meeting of the year 2026. The meeting starts at 7 o'clock, but we are going to first go into executive session. Let me first do a roll call so we identify who's here. Trustee Flores?
Present.
Trustee Wilson?
Present.
Trustee Keynes?
Present.
Trustee Dr. Dickerson?
Present.
Vice President Ewing?
Present.
And I, Robert Troy, I'm here. We have 6 out of 7 board members. Trustee Bowling will not be joining us tonight. She's mending her sickness. She's healing. You kind of now have a motion to go into executive session to discuss item of personnel. We will be back at 7 o'clock to start the public portion of the meeting.
So move.
Been moved by Trustee Flores, or a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Keynes. Ayes. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Keynes?
Aye.
Trustee Dr. Dickerson?
Aye.
Vice President Ewing?
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries. We are now in executive session. We're going to go to the library.
So,
District Clerk, please call the meeting to order.
Mr. President, please take a vote to take us out of executive session, please.
Oh, thank you, District Clerk. Would you like to call for that vote?
And deny you the opportunity? Of course not.
Can I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Moved.
Been moved by Trustee Dr. Dickerson. Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
Seconded, I believe, by Trustee Wilson. Thank you. Ayes, Trustee Flores?
Aye.
It's hard for me to see who's where. Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Keynes?
Aye.
Trustee Dr. Dickerson?
Aye.
Vice President Ewing?
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries. District Clerk, can you please call the meeting to order now?
Once again, good evening, Westbury family, and welcome to the Board of Education Action Meeting. Of course, today is July the 27th. Trustee Mateo Flores,
Present.
Trustee Michelle Wilson,
Present.
Trustee Rodney Keynes,
Present.
Trustee Dr. Ples Dickerson,
Present.
Vice President Floyd Ewing,
Present.
Board President Robert Troiano Jr.
Present.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Thank you, District Clerk. And Trustee Bowling will not be joining us tonight. She's recovering from an illness. Can I ask everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent meditation? To the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I can ask you all to remain standing and take a moment to reflect on some recent tragedies that you've all heard about impacting our country, with the passing and the death of Alex Petrie, and also just this past weekend, and also just before that, the passing of Renee Good. We also want to note that today is Jewish Remembrance Holocaust Day, and that's something that's certainly worthy of giving some thought about, and hope that we never return to a day like that for anybody. And then we might, just for those of you who are inclined to just say a prayer that we have peace in our country that is so bitterly divided, that we might all come together for the common good. So please just stand for a moment more and reflect and pray on that as appropriate. Thank you, everybody. I just want to make a quick apology to everybody that's been waiting for us to come to start this meeting. As you all know, we're scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. In the last couple of months, so the board has moved to having 2 executive sessions as needed, one at 6 o'clock and then one following the public meeting. But this evening, we've decided not to have a second executive session meeting because of the weather. And even though the snow has stopped, there's still icy conditions and black ice that remains. So we want to get everybody home right after the public meeting. So we decided not to have an executive session 2. And as a result, executive session 1 ran longer than we thought. So our apologies. Especially to our students who are sitting here waiting to receive commendations. And I know they all want to get home so they can study for tomorrow's schoolwork. We want to say apologies to you as well. To kind of make up for that loss of time, though, I'm going to ask the board to vote to take the commendation section, which comes later in the meeting typically, to put that at the very top of the meeting. So we're going to put it ahead of the minutes, ahead of, I can't read because I have my glasses. Reports and presentations, ahead of community comments, and now we're going to move to, if the board agrees, the commendation section. I have a motion to move commendations ahead of all the topics before it, including the minutes.
So moved.
It's been moved by Trustee Dr. Dickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Flores. Ayes. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Keynes?
Aye.
Trustee Dickerson?
Aye.
Vice President Ewing?
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries. Dr. Chase, I turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out during this frigid night. There are so many other places you can be, and we're just really happy to have you all here. And we also thank those who are watching at home. Mr. Troiano, I do know that you serve as our board president, but you also serve the community as councilman. I'm going to say that I think you better watch your back, because there are a group of scholars who went to Albany. I understand that they are in the process of proposing a bill. They are budding politicians. I think they're going to give you a run for your money. They're well-dressed. They have on these amazing blazers. They were well-prepared to fight for a bill in which they believe in, on, I don't know if it was school safety or if it was health and wellness, but I think they're going to share with you what they did. I think you've got a lot to be afraid of right now.
Well, I won't be afraid. I look forward always to advancing our students, even if it means replacing me. I do know that because I got to see a videotape when I was sitting in the company of Senator Bino, who obviously her office is in Albany, and she was just terribly impressed by our students, just like I was, and I know you are.
So I think the entire community will be impressed quite shortly. So I'm going to ask Principal Jagan, I believe Assistant Principal Oliveri is here, and also Mr. Chavez, who escorted our scholars to Albany. And I believe Mr. Chavez is escorting them to Albany on February 14th as well. We thank you so much for, just really instilling civic education to our middle school learners. I think that's really powerful. And perhaps maybe they will have a career in politics. And, I just want to speak a little bit about leadership and not politics for a second. We need leaders in this world. We have many followers. And so I hope that the experience that you had will spark some interest in you leading. The world needs you. They need your brilliance, they need your support, they need your care, and they need your concern for your neighbors, your community, and for your fellow citizens. So we can't wait to hear what it is that you all did in Albany. So please come on up and just enlighten us. And I believe that these scholars received awards based on their hard work in Albany as well. So please take it away.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Chase. Good evening, colleagues, family members. This is our Westbury Middle School Scholar Government. Just a couple of words. We were really proud of the work that they completed in Albany and also in our school building on a day-to-day basis. There are a wonderful group of students. Parents, you should be very proud of how they conduct themselves and how they carry themselves. Really proud of the work that they are doing and have done. We went to Albany for 3 days. It was the first time us visiting Albany and participating in such an event. And it was a really remarkable experience to see them participate with confidence, with perseverance, and handling themselves as if they had been there before, like experts. And so we look forward to continuing this tradition next year, them being able to join us. And then those of our scholars who are going up to the high school, we look forward to them continuing this journey and being involved in government. It's a wonderful experience. What they're going to do right now is they're going to model a bill, debating a bill, the passing of a bill, presenting pro and con arguments, similar to what we did in Albany when we were up there, except that we were in Albany, they were surrounded by other students from other districts across Long Island, across New York State. At the end, we had Christopher, who presented a speech as to why he should have been governor or elected governor for all of New York in front of about 300-400 students, which he developed the night before, and we fine-tuned it. And he spoke with such confidence, and it was just a really good experience. So we also want to thank our parents for lending them to us for a couple of days. I know that it was a nerve-wracking experience, but we are really thankful for that. I want to thank Mr. Rodriguez as well, who came up with us and really just troubleshooted and just really helped us to have a really good experience. Thank you, Ms. Jagan, as well. And thank you to all our teachers also and support staff who have had our students over the years, because without you guys too, we wouldn't be here, and you should all be proud of the work that they're doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chavez. Good evening, our Board of Education, Dr. Chase. We'd also like to thank Mr. Rodriguez for joining us on that trip to Albany. The scholars here before you went through an entire debate process and election process. They were elected by their peers. They participated in a primary and general election. So they took that knowledge, that courage and confidence, and went to Albany and truly did a remarkable job preparing and debating 16 bills. And today we have an opportunity to see them present a bill to the audience. And we thank you for your support. We couldn't have done it without you. And we thank all the parents that allowed us, just as Mr. Chavez says, to take the children and provide them with this remarkable experience in Albany at the state capitol. They debated on the Senate floor and the Assembly floor, competing with children all across New York. So we'd like to showcase a little bit of what they did in Albany, and we'll begin with introductions. Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, you want to say?
Good morning, everyone. I would just like to say thank you for being here, and thank you for the teachers and the staff who helped me get here and took me to Albany. I just want to say that I had a great time there. I'd like to thank my mom, my parents, my family for everything they've done. And I'd like to begin with the introduction speech. So what we did there in Albany, we debated 16 bills, as my principal explained. We had a lot of fun. There was breakfast in the morning. We practiced our debates, studied in the rooms. The bus drive there was about 8 hours or so. 8 hours. we visited the Capitol building and we debated. 13 bills were passed and then 3 were denied. Um, when we went back, we got there, I saw my parents, I was happy. I went back home and then we celebrated a bit, and then that's pretty much all that happened. I'd like to thank Ms. Jagan, Dr. Oliveri, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Chavez, Dr. Chase, and Dr. Troiano. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening. I'm Ajay Mamahal, Vice President of the Westbury Middle School. Our bill sponsors here will be presenting a bill to you all. They will have 3 minutes for their opening statement.
I, Christopher Chavez, Middle School Council Member. Bill sponsors may present.
Hello, my name is Valeria Correas. I'm your 7th grade governor of the Westbury Middle School delegation.
My name is Emily Jacobo, and I'm your 7th grade council member of the Westbury Middle School delegation.
Today, we will present the bill to protect the health and well-being of women in New York State and prevent deaths and serious complications due to breast cancer.
We are presenting this bill to mandate that all healthcare insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare, cover ultrasounds for women during routine breast cancer screenings. These are the summary of provisions. A mammography. A mammography is an X-ray imaging method used to examine the breast for early detection of cancer and other breast diseases. Ultrasound imaging technology. Ultrasound imaging technology is also known as a sonography, uses high-frequency sounds to waves to view inside the body. Routine screening for breast cancer. Women who are 40 to 74 years old are at an average risk for breast cancer and get mammogram annually.
Dense breast. Dense breast tissue, also known as dense breast, is a condition in which a higher proportion of the breast comprise glandular and fibrous tissue than fatty tissue. Medicaid. Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that helps cover medical costs for some people with limited income and resources. Medicare. Federal health care insurance for anyone age 65 and older, and some people under 65 with certain disabilities or conditions. Insurance plans, a legal contract between the insurance company and a person's business or entity being insured.
Tomosynthesis ultrasounds, a digital X-ray mammogram which creates a 2D and a 3D-like pictures of dense breasts. Justification. These are the justifications of our bill. Ultrasounds can be incredibly important because they are highly accurate, meaning that they can detect around 80% of breast cancers. This is especially important for the women who have dense breast tissue. The National Breast Cancer Foundation. In general, ultrasounds can be furthermore healthier than mammograms because breast ultrasounds can provide more accurate detection than mammography.
In 2021, 272,454 women got breast cancer, and in 2022, 42,211 women died from it. Each year, about 16,700 women in New York State get breast cancer, and about 2,050 die from it. It is estimated that 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lives.
Mammograms have a harder time finding breast cancers in such invasive as lobular carcinomas.
Thank you, bill sponsors. Now we will move on to technical questions. I invite the audience. Do you have any technical questions? Ms. Jagan.
We got our information from the National Health Department, and we got data from all over hospitals of New York State.
We also use the National Cancer Foundation as a source for our information.
Would our bill sponsors like to add any additional information? Now that the time for technical questions is past, we'll be moving on to pro-con debate. Since this bill is in favor of pro, are there any con debates on the floor? Jeremiah.
Thank you, Chair. Jeremiah Rodriguez, President of the Westbury Middle School Delegation. I understand how this bill could help. However, mammograms sometimes flag cancers that would never cause harm in the person's lifetime, leading to anxiety, stress, and along with extra imaging and biopsies. These tests also give off radiation, which could add up over time from several screenings, increasing the chances of DNA damage and mutations, which could cause other diseases. During the time in use, mammograms could cause discomfort and through dense breast tissue could diagnose a false negative. Thank you, Chair and bill sponsors.
Thank you, Delegate.
Do we have any pro debate on the floor? Delegate Hakeem.
Good evening, everyone. Delegate Hakeem, as 8th grade council member of Westbury Middle School Delegation. Thank you, Chair. I feel like this bill should be passed because the bill says there will be no deductible or out-of-pocket costs, so more women can afford screenings. Also, the bill will give women access to more accurate screenings, such as ultrasounds, which can detect around 80% of breast cancers, as opposed to mammograms, which miss about 1 in 8 breast cancers. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsors.
Thank you.
Are there any con debates on the floor? Shama.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsors. Although I do agree with the intent of this bill, mammogram readings aren't always accurate and can cause unnecessary stress and anxiety. There also isn't no definite way of enforcing the healthcare companies to comply with this bill. And therefore, I dislike this bill and think it should not pass. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Delegate.
Do we have any pro debates on the floor? Hakeem, Neela.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsor. My name is Nia Boston, your 8th grade council member. I believe that this bill should be passed because it would keep women safe. Some mammograms don't find all breast cancer. That is why ultrasounds can help find breast cancer sooner than later. If insurance helps pay for scans and tests, women who can't afford to pay medical bills would be able to be worry-free. Finding cancer early would save many lives for women. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsor.
Thank you.
Is there a final con debate on the floor? Ulysses.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsors. My name is Ulysses Guevara Mejia, and I'm 6th grade council member of Westbury Middle School Delegation. I support this idea, but I am convinced that for such a massive initiative, funds might not be used properly. The people with breast cancer may not be able to get these stuff because the money may be used for different things. This bill needs to ensure that all of the companies are using the money properly, and we need to invest that the companies are using the money properly, not just for only for breast cancer, not for anything else. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, bill sponsors.
Thank you, Delegate. The remaining time that the bill sponsors have passed will be used for their closing statement. You may now proceed.
These are the fiscal implications of our bill. In 2022, the United Healthcare Group made over $20 billion in profit. Cigna made $6.7 billion. Elevance Health made $6 billion, and CVS Health made $4.2 billion. All told, America's largest healthcare insurance raked in more than $41 billion of profits in 2022. They can afford to provide these services. This is why our bill should be passed.
Thank you, bill sponsors.
We will now move on to the ratification process. I invite you, audience, if you are in favor of this bill, raise your hand and say yay. Thank you. If you are against this bill, raise your hand and say nay. Thank you. In the eyes of the chair, this bill is passed.
Thank you, board and Dr. Chase, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
So I understand that, first of all, we can do better than that. Took a lot of courage. You guys were phenomenal. I just have a question. Why did you select that particular bill? Why breast cancer?
We selected this bill so it can help all women who don't have insurance to pay for breast cancer, what they're dealing with.
These are middle school scholars that are taking on such a heavy topic such as that. This is what civic education looks like. And so anyone who has any doubt about middle school, elementary school, high school at the Westbury Union Free School District, just take a look at the promise of America standing right behind me. Do you see this right here? This is the promise. Amazing. Did you do any research in terms of how breast cancer affect women based on their ethnicity and age? Did you do any research on that? And that's okay, because that means more research to do, right? And perhaps maybe this will spark some of you maybe to go into cancer research. Maybe it'll spark some of you to go into politics. But your advocacy was top tier. Top tier. You guys were amazing. You did such a phenomenal job. I understand that there are some certificates for you. The New York State YMCA Youth in Government has these beautiful certificates for all of our scholars for their amazing advocacy, your abilities to debate. But before we move any further, I'm going to ask our councilman, he's not the board president right now, but the councilman just to give some words based on what he heard, what he witnessed, and how well he think they did. What do you think about that? Let's give it up. It's gonna kill me. Sorry, Rodney.
I'm just so really pleased and proud to listen to all of you. And I want to tell you that I have no qualms about turning my seat over to you, but not tonight, okay? So there will come a time when I'm always trying to convince young people like yourselves to get involved in government. It is what has driven my life. And I rarely find anybody who wants to take me up on that. So I hope I have the group right here that is ready to move to government, to do things like you just spoke about, to help people in our community, people throughout the nation. But it takes a voice like yours, and with real authority and ability to use your voice to influence people and convince them of your opinion, and hopefully have them vote the way you would like them to vote. So it's just great for me to be able to sit here and witness all of this. And maybe when you're, I don't know if anybody here wouldn't be of 16 yet, but maybe when you turn 16, you can spend some time working in my office as an intern, so you can have a real experience seeing what government is like from the inside. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all the work you've done, the research that it took to put all this together. to be able to speak as fluently and as articulately as all of you did is just really, really great. And I can tell you that at your age, I couldn't have done what you just did. And so I look forward to all that you're going to accomplish as you grow older and mature and have some experiences working in government. And hopefully someone here will rise up to be my replacement, and also to replace the members of the school board, all of whom are alumni of the school, just with the exception of Dr. Dickerson, but he's honorary alumni, and he's actually the father to a great many children in this community who were raised under his tutelage. So we all look forward to a day when you can stand up and replace us and sit behind those tables and represent your community. So thank you for all you do, and I look forward to all you're going to become. Thank you.
So I think it's fitting that the councilman for the town of North Hempstead should share with me in honoring these scholars for their civic duties. So please join me. How about you pen them or give them the pen? All right, so Assembly Member Hakeem Shah, come on. Wait, Assembly Member Hakeem, you're going to see Mr. Troiano, Councilman Troiano, who's going to give you a pen. Okay. Assembly Member Jeremiah Rodriguez. Congratulations, good job. Senator Kenzo Ramos. Wait, you're my spelling bee champ too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations. Nice jacket. Assembly Member, how do I pronounce it? Ajay Manbahal. Come on. Good job. Congratulations. Matthew. Right. I know Matthew. Assembly Member Emily Perez. Excellent job. Good job.
You're not letting go of that mic, are you?
No, she's not.
Congratulations.
Assembly Member Ulysses Mejia. Did I say that right? I did say it right. Congratulations. Nice job. 6th grade, you've got a promising future. Senator Shama Eugene. Senator Christopher Solorzano. Did I pronounce your last name correct? Okay. This one. Oh, wait, you have a gavel and everything.
Oh, you got the gavel.
Yeah, you're official. Yeah.
He has to bring it back to Albany next year.
He has to bring it back to Albany, so talk to us about that. It travels?
So Christopher got elected.
No.
Christopher got elected as Lieutenant Governor, which is the second highest position in the student government for New York State.
Christopher, come to the front of the classroom.
So Christopher made, he put together a 3-minute speech in front of his peers in this big ballroom on the last day of our trip in Albany. So he ran to be the governor to represent New York State, and based on his speech, he was elected Lieutenant Governor, which is the second highest position. And so he has a gavel, and then next year when we go back to Albany, God willing, we'll be able to return, and then he has a lot of work to do. So we're super proud of him.
Amazing. I'm telling you, happens here at Westbury. Senator Nia Bostic. And to Governor Valeria Correas.
Congratulations, Governor.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. Thank you, Mr. Troiano, President Troiano. I just wanted to share, as they were presenting and Christopher and Ajay were asking for pro and con statements, just imagine a room filled with 300 children and these 11 children trying to get their voices in. They stood every time. They got their voices in They said their pro-con debates, and they were extremely memorable, confident, and represented Westbury well. So today was easy because it was just them, but there were a lot of other children in the room, and they made sure that they stood up and spoke for every single bill. Thank you.
Again, we want to thank Mr. Chavez. I know that you didn't work alone. There was a team that you work with. We thank all of the teachers at Westbury Middle School for believing in these kids. This is what it looks like when you believe in them. When you raise the bar high, children will rise to that bar. But when you set it low, you will limit them. At Westbury School District, period, we keep raising the bar, and this is the result of it. So we thank you all at the middle school for believing in our scholars. This is the result of such a belief. I wish you all well. I can't wait to what you're going to do next year and to hear all about it, but I think the topic that you selected is powerful. And to hear middle school students talk about healthcare in this way, you know, you can teach some people in other places some things. So I really appreciate all that you're doing, and I really hope that you will continue this campaign and your advocacy work. Okay? Good job.
Can we just get a picture? Can we just get a picture with everybody?
You know you gotta do the picture. You know you gotta do the picture. Can you just tell me the teachers who aren't here? I just want to say their names. Ms. Fryman, you might be watching. I'm sure you're cheering these scholars on at home. We just want to say thank you for your support and for your commitment. Is there someone else? Where's Mr. Wright? Come on up here. Come on up here, Dad. We appreciate you, Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you so much. Really, thank you.
Can you step up just one step so the board can get behind you?
Felicidades. Scholar delegation, not student. It says scholar.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations, Senator.
Congrats, great job. Great job.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I know.
Good job.
So you want to come around? Laser, how we doing? How are we, Laser? Good?
We're a little too wide. I think we
Might have to close that a little bit.
tighten up. Yeah.
Move in?
Congratulations. 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 You guys are wonderful. Awesome.
How do you guys feel about this? You feel proud? Hold on. That's right. You did. You did. You represented us. Hold on to this feeling. So, Mr. President, we do have a few more commendations, and I recognize that there are a group of people who are in the auditorium who probably need to leave shortly, so I don't want to hold them up. As you know, we had a very interesting winter storm a few days ago, and of course, Westbury was one of the few school districts that decided to pivot to remote learning. I think it was one of the best ideas that we could have made, to pivot to remote learning, because while schools were closed, the learning continued, and we were really committed to that. I just want to thank our staff and faculty for their commitment and their dedication. While many school districts were closed, that meant that many of our staff members were at home with their own loved ones, with their own families, yet they still stood in front of their computers or sat in front of their computers, and they still interacted and they still engage our scholars. That is to be commended. Our clerical made sure that our attendance was taken properly and properly recorded. You know, we had our food service folk that helped to provide meals. We served over 2,000 meals, if I'm not mistaken. We served over 2,000 meals on Friday to be taken home and to be stored over the weekend and then reheated for Monday. I hope they lasted until Monday, but I had a feeling some of those chicken nuggets were eaten over the weekend. But it's all good. But we had all of those things in place. But while many of us, and I want to thank you all, and I want to thank the families and the parents who helped to support their children at home, the technology department for making sure that those Chromebooks were fully charged and prepared so that we can have a successful day. That took effort. That took a lot of preparation. And so I could not be more proud of this school district for doing what we needed to do on behalf of our children. So you all are to be commended. But there are also a group of people who are sitting here that I wish to acknowledge. You see, while we were at home on Sunday and we watched the snow come down and we watched it pile and we saw all the drifts and the wind was blowing, and then on Monday, while we were still in our pajamas and our warm homes, our custodial team and our grounds crew were out in the element. You see, they were out in the element because they made sure that the schools were safe to open on Tuesday. They did an amazing job. When it was 19 degrees, they were out there. While it was snowing, they were out there. I saw videos of them working really hard. And so while everyone in the school district pulled their fair share, our custodians, our grounds crew were out in the element, and I asked them to come here because I would like to publicly thank them for their commitment and their dedication and for representing Westbury in the way you did. So I'm going to ask the custodians who are here now, the grounds crew who's here, if you can just stand up. Come on, y'all, we talked about this, stand up. Let's go. The men and women, I think we should stand up and give them a round of applause because they don't oftentimes get this. For keeping us safe, keeping us healthy, making sure that our pathways were clean, that our parking lots were clean, that our entryways were clean. We thank you. We all thank you. I also want to thank my school board. Listen, when you say that you're going to close school and you're going to pivot to remote, it is not the most popular decision. And I know that. There were only 2 school districts on Long Island that did it. I heard some things. My board probably had to hear from people, why in the world would she do something like this? But they allowed it to happen and they supported me 10 toes down. So I just want to thank my school board for supporting remote learning and supporting the decision to transition when it was not the most popular decision, but recognizing that it was the best. So I thank each and every one of you for supporting it. All right, let's give it up. Okay. We have one more commendation. This is always the best part of the meeting. This is what I enjoy when we can celebrate the great things that are happening in our school district. I believe it was, the dates are really all colliding, in November. In November of 2025, we held our fourth annual social emotional learning fair. This is an opportunity to bring our community together, not just those who are in the school district, but our residents, our community, and our partners together, so that we could talk about all things health and wellness, healthy minds, healthy bodies, healthy children, healthy community. I've asked Dr. Teresa Taylor Williams, who is a consultant to our school district, to lead the efforts in arranging this year's, just as in the past, social emotional learning fair. Well, she enlisted a whole bunch of people to do this task with her. Again, it was a success, and each year we seem to get more and more community members and residents to participate, where we have hands-on screenings. I think this year we had a breast cancer screening, ladies and gentlemen. We had dental screening, we had vision screening, we had all sorts of workshops so that people can begin thinking about their own health and wellness and that of their families. So I'm gonna ask Dr. Teresa Taylor Williams to come on down. And there are people who she brought with her who are wearing these SEL shirts, these great SEL shirts. I'm not wearing mine because I wasn't offered to wear mine today, but that's okay. You get a pass, Dr. Williams, and it would match so nicely with my outfit with the gray, but that's okay. But we appreciate the efforts. We appreciate the fact that we're one of the few school districts that truly prioritize SEL. We don't just talk about it, we are about it. We walk the talk in the school district, and the SEL Fair is just one instance where we do just that. So I'm gonna ask Dr. Williams if she would just speak about it a little bit, and then we also would like to acknowledge those who participated in the SEL committee. We know that you guys work really, really hard, and the Board of Education and I just simply want to say thank you. Dr. Williams.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Dr. Chase. So first, we'd like to thank Dr. Chase and the school board for once again trusting me to direct this fair. And nothing is done as this successful without so many people engaging and joining me. Each one of the staff from Westbury is strictly voluntary, and they come, they do a great job. Each year it's gotten bigger and bigger. This year, with our counters, we had overall 400 plus people involved, including almost 200 vendors standing in the gym, in the auditorium, in the lobby. We had screenings, we had workshops, and of course, we had the wonderful and amazing, is it the Yes We Can band? New name, Dr. Dickerson?
Westbury Jazz Collective.
The
Westbury Jazz Collective.
The Westbury Jazz Collective, which tops off the fair, and it would not be the same without Dr. Dickerson and that amazing band. So thank you once again. I'd like to call the names of the members of the committee, and if you are here, please come forward.
You want to sure if it's in the same order? How about we do it this way? Okay. Because it may not be in the order.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the first is Dr. Teresa Taylor Williams for her leadership in this role. Deirdre Faulkner. Lynette Blades. Dr. Alexandra McGloshin. Mr. James, oh, there she is. There we go. Mr. James Popkin. You looking good in that shirt, Dr. McGloshin? I didn't get a shirt. Don't show off. Don't do that. Mr. Michael Hardy. I see custodians back there with those shirts on. Dr. Spencer Hyman. I saw Dr. Hyman. There he is. Look at his shirt. Y'all look cute with those shirts on. Maybe I'll get one. Yeah, I see. I have to join the committee. Of course, good job. Miss Jillian Simmons. Mr. Kyle Bowler, who just unzipped his Nike Tech to show me his shirt. Now he's going to take it off. Y'all really, really showing off now. Okay. I see you in that shirt.
You don't have one.
Michael Costello. Dr. Nicolette James. She's probably at home with her shirt on. I know she is. Abby Archdeacon. Lori Colangelo. Pharrell Lang. Lauren Sorrentino. She has a shirt on too. You got them looking cute, Dr. Williams. Jennifer Doyle. She's at home with her shirt on. Fernell Armand. Maria Belfort. Lydia Costanzo. Zanetta Dean. She has a shirt on too. Come on down. Jean-Pierre Orlis. Nice shirt. Good job. I'm good, honey. Look at that. I like that smile with your shirt. Healthy moves, happy minds. Look at you. I'm proud of you. So proud of you. Philomena Stotzi. Wayne Wallace. He's out there. He's wearing the shirt. I saw him out there wearing the shirt. Security. Sinclair Bass Knight. He's got the shirt and the Westbury hat. We don't play when it comes to branding in this district, as you could see. Just come on down here. Look at this. Look at No. Darnell Bush, come on down. Put your shirt on. Thank you. Norma Campos? Come on with your shirt on. We see you, Miss Norma. Dr. Williams just whispered in my ear, she worked so hard. Come on down. We see you. You know we appreciate you. Of course. Of course.
Good job,
Robert Centur. So I understand Miss Costanza is here. Not only does she have her, you know, her jacket on, her reflective jacket, underneath that jacket is her shirt. That's what pride looks like. There you go. How are you? Robert Centur. Where's Kevin Hairston? I saw him earlier. Don't act cute, Kevin. I see you. He's holding up his shirt. But he's got the right baseball cap on, so you're forgiven. Oh, you're a Yankee fan. Don't do that to me. We're the only Yankee fans out here. You know, I'm in enemy territory over here. Here you go. Absolutely. Colton Harris, come on down. You don't even need a shirt, honey. Thomas Orr. Absolutely. Thank you.
Peter Pinto, and Francisco Zepeda. Okay, this is the SEL committee. This is the SEL committee. This is why every year it becomes more and more successful. This committee grows and grows, and Ms. Dr. Williams whispered to me, there are people who are standing behind me who actually approached her and said, I want to be a part of this. I want to be on the committee. Again, this is what Westbury loves look like, right? We also want to acknowledge Mr. Laser Alert and his team, because, you know, Laser makes sure that we are recognized. He makes sure that our work gets out there and that people know what we're doing here at Westbury. And although he doesn't have a shirt, do you have a shirt underneath that coat? Okay, he's not wearing a shirt today. He was very instrumental in making sure that we get the word out and that it became publicized. Laser, we appreciate all that you do for Westbury School District. You know that. You are family. So, Board of Education, you know you have to take a picture with the SEL committee, especially when they have these shirts on. So please join me in a picture. We're going to go this way. We're going to go toward the middle as my board gathers. And I can't believe y'all didn't bring the board a shirt. Are we behaving later?
I see the shirt, we go like this. Taking too long now.
Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, D? How are you, sir?
God bless. Thanks again.
Yeah, God bless you.
After you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
You're not leaving me yet. If you don't get away from me.
I'm trying.
Oh, get out of here. Y'all, I told you guys to be on your best behavior.
We are.
Best behavior. And so before people leave the auditorium, I would be remiss if I did not indicate, you know, we gave the custodians a big shout out, but there's leadership that I did not recognize. And so I want to recognize Mr. Brian Sudrin for leading our custodial and grounds team. Brian, stand up. We thank you so much. Thank you. What happened? Say it again. That's fine. That's fine.
be sick. You think you have to be sick.
Once again, Mr. Triana, I want to acknowledge the administrators and the teachers who are here. We thank you all for being here. We see you. I know you've been working hard all day, and we appreciate it. I just have one more announcement for those who are watching and those who are here. We really got some great news today. We had a health and nutrition committee meeting earlier today where we discovered that Westbury qualifies for a very special waiver during Ramadan. And as many of you know, Ramadan begins in February, and it ends in March, to be exact, February 16th through March 17th. And during that time of fasting, we know that some of our scholars who observe Ramadan will not eat during the day. And so we recognize that. In our school district, we are very deliberate and intentional about finding space where students can, can pray. Space where they are not exposed to watching other scholars eat, and we're very cognizant of that. What we will be doing this year for our families who are watching, everyone will receive a letter in the coming days opting in for your child to receive a meal at the end of the day where they can actually take home and eat at sundown. We recognize that many of our scholars who observe Ramadan will be fasting, and they will not be able to partake in a meal during the day. So our school district will provide them with a to-go meal that they can take home, and at sundown they can enjoy. So we're so happy that we received this waiver, and we found out today. I want to thank Mr. Rob Stein, and I want to thank Aramark, Rowena from our school district as well, who really worked very hard to make sure that we follow in our practices of being a district that celebrates its diversity, that we are an inclusive, and we want a school district, and we want everyone to know that you belong here. And we acknowledge you, and we acknowledge our differences. Our differences in our school district is what makes us special. It's the people here. It's the diversity of the people that make this place a special place. And so families, in the coming days, you will receive this letter. All you have to do is fill out a Google form to opt in for the meal. There'll be a designated place at every school in our district where those meals can be picked up at dismissal, and the scholars can take them home. Now, you're probably wondering what kind of meals. Well, they will be halal meals, and they'll be vegetarian meals, okay? Good? All right. Mr. President, that concludes my very long report this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. We'll now open up the mic for those of you who'd like to ask a question about tonight's voting agenda, or make a comment or question even about school district operations. Please come to the mic if you have a question or a comment.
Good evening all, Glennis Palacios, 516 Benin Road, parent, as of tonight. I have just 3 questions, if I may, and I'll go one by one so that I don't lose translation on these. It's on the agenda for tonight, item 5A, the LIU. Item there, I wanted to find out if there were specific courses or what those courses would be offered to those students if we participate in that.
Information, Ms. Bonnet? Yeah. You know what? Can I get back to you on that, on those particular courses? I'll get back to you in the morning. I know where to find you.
Thank you. And I just want to say it sounds like an awesome course just reading it through. And the price per student, $290 per course, is also great. So, but the courses would be great to hear about those. And will students be able to select as well? That's part of the question would be, would students be able to select that, open to all students, 9 to 12? That was part of the question, yes. Mm-hmm.
our February meeting, I'll just share out publicly because it was asked publicly.
Thank you. And then item 5C was, again, with the student workforce, I believe, with the Nassau County DSS. What would be the number of participants allowed, and what would be the selection process? How do we select those students to be part of that particular program?
That's another secondary question that I'm going to get back to you with Brendan Gallivan, who obviously isn't here, so thank you for that.
Correct.
I'll make sure you get.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I'm also asking some questions for our PTSA representatives that couldn't be here today, so bear with me. There was a question that they wanted to follow up on. Has our district considered hosting the first Lego League at one of our schools?
So that question was asked last week. Again, Mr. Gallivan, give me all your Mr. Gallivan questions, and I'll make sure to get back to you.
Good thing I wrote them down.
Right. And so I do know that he is in discussion about that question because it was posed last time that, we had a board meeting. So it did not fall on deaf ears. And I think it's a great opportunity for our scholars, and I think it's amazing for our community if we were able to do that.
Great. And then again, don't shoot the messenger. We are wanting some clarification on procedures, especially in regards to student searches at schools. Specifically, I'm not going to go into detail, but entering a bathroom, should students be searched without any other administrators present and/or parents, without parents being notified? And if so, what's the procedure, how to handle that situation?
Right. Do you want to help out with that one, Candace, in terms of?
Sure. Good evening.
Good evening.
Great. So with regard to searches, of course, the ability of school administrators to search students is greater than we would find in the normal kind of world environment, for example. If an administrator or someone who is in charge of the school believes that there's reasonable suspicion that the child is either in danger himself or causing potential danger to someone else, at that point in time, a search may be conducted, and a search may be a backpack, it may be pockets of a jacket, it may be other situations. Of course, I know that just from my dealings with the administrators throughout the various schools, they do everything in their power to try to avoid those searches. In most circumstances, they will simply ask a student if they would be willing to show what's in their backpack, for example, or show what's in their coat pockets. And again, this is only done when there is a belief that there could be possibly a safety situation which exists. You mentioned the bathroom in particular. I'm not familiar
That's where the
with
concern
any
is, correct.
type of searches going in and out of bathrooms, so perhaps that's something that we could talk about separately, because the procedures that I've described are for the general school environment. If there's a particular concern about the bathroom, then we should make sure the administration is aware of that so that we could make the bathroom as safe as possible. But I don't want students at all, and I'm sure the board and the superintendent don't want students at all to believe that the bathroom is some type of checkpoint where they should be made to feel nervous in any way. If this is being done, it would be purely for safety reasons.
Yeah, and then the other item that was brought up as well, I know a conversation was brought up about vaping. So some of the schools are concerned about vaping. And if I'm not mistaken, there was some sort of solution in the future or in the works in regards to the vaping situation in bathrooms. So that's why I want to correlate the two as well, and as well get clarification for those.
Right. So there's been some conversation around vaping detectors in our schools, particularly in our bathrooms. And that's typically in America where that happens in schools, is the bathroom. And so we're in discussion about what those detections should look like, how much they cost, where they can go. So we are having those conversations internally.
Okay.
Sorry, in regard to searches conducted, I guess, upon entry into the bathroom, we're not going to be able to discuss that publicly. But is there a specific incident or incidents that you're concerned about?
Yes.
So maybe we can pursue that privately.
Okay.
Thank you.
And again, this is a question
You're
from
speaking
another-
on behalf of someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if that needs clarification, they can definitely call any one of the administrators to get that clarification. And if there is a particular legal question, of course, we would definitely call, our attorney, but they should definitely seek information if they need clarification.
Okay, thank you.
That's it? Oh.
You want more? No?
Good evening, Isabella Hamilton Lomax, 565 Jefferson Street. I have questions on the agenda regarding 7D, 7F, and 7H. Seven D, 7F, and 7H. I guess it's regarding the retreat, the school board and superintendent retreat. So the 7F in particular with B&B Consultants, it states that there was an amendment to the contract. So we were just wondering what was amended, if we are privy to that information. And then 7H in particular, it says that the board hereby approves the spa rate agreement. So we were just wanted clarification that this might be for a room and not necessarily spa services. So that's why we were asking.
So as much as we would love to have spa services, that is not happening. But what we are massaging are our brains and expanding our brains through profession. You like that? I mean, I rhyme, I have poetry, right? Okay. So no, this is designated, it's a designated room at this particular facility.
Okay.
And that's all it is. It's a meeting room.
Okay. That's what we assume, but it's always better to ask.
I'm sorry, can I add something to that, Dr.
That's-
Chase? It's the name of the hotel.
Right, the name
It's
of the
called
hotel.
Viana
Yeah.
Hotel
And
and
Spa.
Spa.
Yeah, I'm aware of the Viana. It's right on Brush Hollow Road. But it's a meeting room, so generally, like, if we were going to contract a meeting space, it would be the ballroom or I don't know, executive meeting room or something like that. It just reads
But
that it could be
it's in the
spa
hotel.
services. Yes.
It's in the hotel and spa.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, but it reads as a spa room, so the question was, are you, right?
Right,
And so what
it's
I was
just clarification.
clarifying, what I was clarifying for you is that that's definitely not a spa. There are no tables, there's not gonna be a masseuse, unfortunately. No, it's not that.
The other questions I have are regarding.
Well, I'm sorry, just on 7F, you were
Sure.
asking what the amendments are. 7F, that resolution 7F, and also the next one, 7G, are both going to be withdrawn prior to voting. So,
Withdrawn, okay.
and they're being withdrawn because 7F was a consultancy to take place at the middle school, I think on Thursday and Friday.
That's correct.
And followed by a board retreat on Saturday. But because of the forecast for inclement weather later in the week, we're going to be rescheduling those events. So they will come back on the agenda at that point.
Okay, thank you. All right. I'll go back and note it when I rewatch the
The
meeting.
7H we're still doing. It's just the rate. It applies for the whole year.
Yeah, that's the Vienna.
It's building related, so I just need to find the area. I always have a building related question, so I can't let tonight be any different. You know what? I'll let Mr. McGivens go, and then I'll come back. He may ask the same question I'm going to ask. I'll be back.
And how did you know Mr. McGibbons had a question? Mr. McGibbons?
Good evening. Chester McGibbon, 502 Felicia Drive. Mr. President, I know that Madam Superintendent is working on the 5-year plan, strategic plan for the community. That is correct. In which she has sought inputs from interested stakeholders. But what about the 3-year plan for special education students? How is that going? I think that expired last year. What's the status of that? And also, since there's a almost interdependent relationship with that of the 504 program, how is that going as well? Are we leaving any money on the table in terms of refunds from Medicare and so forth? Could you say something about that?
So, Mr. McGibbon, Ms. Barnett is going to respond to your question. But before she do that, you mentioned the strategic plan. Funny you should ask. I feel like he was on the call with us earlier, Shahana, right? So the district will begin that work on February 9th, where we will be bringing stakeholders to a meeting place, and we'll have several meetings over the course of 4 to 5 months in developing the strategic plan, the 5-year, charting our course to 2030 and beyond, and we're so excited about that work. And we want to thank the community members who responded to the Thought Exchange survey several months ago, because that work will serve as a springboard, if you will, for the work that we'll be doing in devising said plan. To answer your second part as it related to special education, Ms. Barnett has some information for you.
That's a 504 plan?
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, our 3-year plan for special education did sunset in August. So Mr. Mack, who is our illustrious leader of the Office of PPS, his official title is Director of Special Education. He's been with us for about 1.5 years now, truly phenomenal. He has really taken the helm on this work. And as part of this work, we are actually organizing a think tank of educators and stakeholders across the district. So you have a few of us here in the auditorium, myself, Dr. Oliveri. We're partnering with Mr. Mack and some of the members of his team to really revitalize this plan and set a plan in place that will be able to help us grow in ways that we have not yet done so before. Really be innovative, be inclusive, and bring as much to the plan as possible so that it truly is actionable to ensure that every scholar's unique needs are met. And then the second half of your question was about leaving something on the table?
Well, the Medicare refunds.
Great question. So one of the things that Mr. Mack is actually very passionate about is making sure that we are billing for all services that we possibly can to bring that revenue source back into the district through Medicaid. So in Mr. Mack's office, he has sort of shifted some of the roles in his office to ensure that there's one point person who's overseeing all of Medicaid billing. And then they also are actually, the process for Medicaid has changed a little bit in that you used to be able to sort of bill out without getting the parents to have the script. Now parents have to have a script. So our Office of PPS is reaching out every day to families who receive those services, getting those scripts on file, and then following up with billing for those services. So the state changed the process a little, but Mr. Mack and his team were on it, and they devised a plan right away so that we didn't leave anything behind.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, like Ms. Lomax, I also had concerns about time being spent at the spa. But not that you don't deserve it, but maybe the wording could be changed, because that's the first thing that jumped out at me. Thank you.
Isabella Hamilton Lomax, 565 Jefferson Street. It was 7D, which is the RFP that's awarded to Elite Construction. So for the 2025-2026 school year, Is this the same company that's managing the projects that we have going on currently?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the same company that managed the middle school restoration of the auditorium when there was a fire? That was Belfour. Okay. In light of the fact that we've had some we're still waiting for the vestibules to be done at the schools. Why would we use this service again?
If I may?
Sure.
Okay. It was an RFP. There was only one bidder for the RFP, so they are the responsible bidder. Also, many of our projects are not delayed because of them. Actually, they've saved us a lot of money in a lot of our projects. The projects have been delayed because of supply and demand. Basically, a lot of times, a lot of change orders we had, and also because of the materials we're requesting, the lead time of the materials oftentimes is longer than what we anticipated. And also in terms of the approvals from the state, doesn't often align with the lead time for the materials that we need. So they are not responsible for the delays in the projects.
I think some confusion is created by the name construction manager.
Yeah.
Because it sounds as though like they're doing the construction. That is not the role.
No, it sounds like they're managing the project, right? And
No, they're
not?
no.
Okay.
They act in effect as being like the owner of your house, if you had work done at your
Okay.
house.
Mhm.
But they bring in expertise and they can provide oversight
Okay.
over the construction that's being done.
Okay.
To make sure that all the construction that's done is in accord with the architectural engineering designs.
Okay.
They keep meticulous records about overruns, both in time and in cost. So for example, with the vestibules, they are not responsible for the delay in the vestibules. That's part of the supply chain problem that we have in this country now, especially with vestibules, because so many districts are installing vestibules, and you find around Long Island, there's the same kind of delay. But one of the things that Elite will do as our construction manager is to hold the vendor, the actual construction company, responsible for to help to determine whether or not the delay is real, that is unavoidable, and if it is, that they deem it to have been avoidable, and that our costs are somehow affected, they will hold that company accountable for that.
Okay.
As Trustee Ewing said, they in ways you'll never be able to really see, they pay for themselves by really fighting with contractors to make sure that we're being charged the appropriate rate, that we're not being charged for overruns that are the fault of the contractor, and to make sure that we're not being charged for overtime for their employees if it isn't deserved. But I think the biggest benefit that they provide is ensuring that the construction is sound. And I've often said to the administration and to them that we all on this board want to make sure that when we're not on this board, that people aren't pointing a finger and talking to us about how seats in an auditorium fell apart, because the construction manager's job is to make sure that we get the finest construction and that everything that is built here is built to last.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And then my other question was, recently in the news there was some discussion with the Hackensack School District in Jersey, the $15 million shortfall that some attributed to like a shortfall of COVID money that they may not be receiving. And I know that we had an audit and we passed, and it was a very good audit. Just wondering, it did spark a question, is like what percentage of our budget, if any, are we using or expecting money from COVID, or in any services or programs might be cut as a result?
That money is done. Yeah, there's no more COVID money.
Okay.
So that money is over and done with. And no, we're not cutting any programs as a result of not receiving that money. We were able to maximize what we have in the general fund to maintain what we believe was working in our school district. And so I think we're in a good stand.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And also, as I understand the situation in Hackensack, there's also allegations of fraud.
Okay.
You know, when I heard that story, it was like, it's beyond me how you could be $15 million underfunded, and it's only January. It's beyond me how you could ever be in that situation. But there are allegations that some of the personnel there were engaged in overspending, but also in you know, I'm not making an allegation, this was reported on the news, that they were paying companies that didn't even exist. And you know, that may be fraud, or it may just be incompetence. But there was some special situation, I think, going on in Hackensack.
Okay, and thank you. So, and then the last question I have are some parents who attend games here at the school. So I'm new to the school, and when we exit this school, like we all enter through I guess the designated entryway. But when we exit, Westbury families have to leave through the cafeteria and walk all the way to the parking lot, where we may have parked in like the back of the parking lot. But our visiting teams are allowed to exit through the hallway. And I think I understand the reason. I talked to our security team, so I understand the reason. I would just like if there could be some consideration for grandparents who might be attending the event, if they could, even if they're visiting, they're with the home team, that they be allowed to go through the warm hallway instead of out through the cafeteria doors to the park.
No, thank you for that, and that will definitely be under consideration. We have our director for athletics here, Mr. Doric Capsis, here. So Doric, might be something, I don't know if you want to, you want to comment on it? Doric, you want to go to the microphone, Doric?
Yes, Ms. Lomax. You're right. You met with security, and we do that for a reason, because we have the teams down on one end, and we want the spectators to exit the other end, so there's no overlap for safety. And it's been working out really well. And so we've been using the cafeteria. And when we get the main entrance back, everybody will go out the main door where we used to have it, which is very similar to where the cafeteria door is now. But if you do have somebody, you know, wheelchair or something like that needs that, just ask myself, Miss Wilson. One of us will be in charge at the games, and we'll take them out. We'll take them out ourselves, so don't worry about it. We'll take care of them.
And that goes for the visiting team too, Doric, right? You know, yeah, absolutely.
And somebody who needs aid, we help them, we take them out.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
If there are no other questions?
Last one, I promise. I'm not sure if this was asked before, but I don't think it was 7E item. Do we have a fee amount for that particular independent external audit services? I don't see one on there.
I'm not sure what version you have, but my copy of the agenda has an extensive list of fees.
The fee schedule is listed below that item.
On page 25,
Yes, on page 25.
Clear, and I will get another copy that has the actual, yes, okay. And then my last question was, I was concerned because I guess, again, just want to verify our AP classes at the high school is, I'm hoping that they're not going to be eliminated or somehow moved or shifted. I know they have been on the schools for many, many years. And again, the LIU question as well. So I want to just ask if that's true or not.
There's no conversation about moving or shifting. I know some people thought that when we brought in IB, that IB would take over, but that is not in the conversation. It's not in the works. There's no discussion about that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to now move to the voting part of the agenda. We're going to ask for a block vote for the entire agenda with the exception of items 6R and 6S, which are being withdrawn. They relate to agreements with staff members, and those agreements are not ready yet, so they're being withdrawn, and they'll probably appear at the February meeting. We are removing, as mentioned earlier, we're withdrawing, I should say, Resolution 7F and 7G, which have to do with a consultant who's going to provide services at the end of this week, and those services are not going to be provided this week. They'll be rescheduled, so that's being withdrawn for now. 13D is going to be withdrawn as well, and that has to do with the use of the facilities, and the agenda is marked as that item is being withdrawn, but I just wanted to call that out in person now. And then also not being called for a block vote will be item 6E, and on that one I have been notified that Trustee Wilson intends to abstain on that one. Before we vote the entire agenda, I just want to say congratulations for the tenure appointment of a teaching assistant at the high school, and I'm going to mispronounce this name. If somebody would like to help me, then please do. I know we have some representatives here from the high school. Young Ging Cao, C-A-O. So we want to say congratulations to. You said you did well. Yeah, I did good? Okay. Thank you. And then I also want to acknowledge, although he is not here tonight, item 6N calls for us to vote on the resignation of Dwight Gibson. And I do. I'm sorry.
Resignation for the purpose of retirement.
Okay. Thank you. Give me a round of applause for that one also, please. Thank you. So I'm really sorry that Dwight's not here, but we'll have the opportunity to say our goodbyes to Dwight. He is a veritable institution in this school, and I'm really sorry to see him leaving. Okay, can I now have a motion to approve item 6E?
So move.
Been moved by Dr. Dickerson. Do we have a second? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Corrected the motion what was made by Trustee Flores. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Keynes. It's been moved and seconded. Ayes. Trustee Keynes?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
I'm abstaining due to family ties to one member in this resolution.
Thank you. Trustee Keynes? I'm sorry. So I meant to call Trustee Flores initially. Did he vote yet?
No.
Okay.
Aye.
Let's start over. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee Wilson, we heard your abstention. Thank you. Trustee Keynes?
Aye.
Trustee Dickerson?
Aye.
Vice President Ewing?
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion to approve the entire agenda with the exception of the items that are being withdrawn, as noted earlier? The superintendent has withdrawn those prior to this meeting starting. So I don't think we need to have a vote for that. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the entire agenda with the exception of that item voted on already, 6E, items 6R, 6S, 7F, 7G, and 13D, which have been withdrawn by the superintendent. Do I have a motion to block vote those items?
So moved.
It's been moved, I think, by Trustee Keynes.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Seconded by Vice President Ewing. Ayes. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Keynes.
Aye.
Trustee Dickerson.
Aye.
Vice President Ewing.
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries to approve a block vote of those items. May I now have a motion to approve the items previously approved for a block vote?
So moved.
Okay, I'm going to say Trustee Wilson made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Ewing. Ayes. Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Keynes.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Keynes.
Aye.
Trustee Dickerson.
Aye.
Vice President Ewing.
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Did I get everybody? Great. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's moved by Dr. Dickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by
Keynes.
Trustee Keynes. Ayes. Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Keynes.
Aye.
Trustee Dickerson.
Aye.
Vice President Ewing.
Aye.
And I, Robert Troiano, vote aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Get home safely, everybody, and see you at the February meeting.